Welcome back to another video on the channel. The US Open have just released the entry list for this year's US Open men's and women's. That is due to start at the back end of this month, so I thought I would just do a quick video reacting to the entry lists and talking about the absentees and who are the early front runners for each event. The most notable absentee is definitely Rafael Nadal. It was always unsure whether Rafa was going to prioritise clay in the French Open or try and defend his US Open title, obviously winning it last year in that memorable final against Daniel Medvedev, but Rafa's obviously opted not to try and defend his crown in US and seemingly going to go ahead at the French Open. He has just released a statement in which he didn't mention the French Open, so we're not certain whether he'll go to that tournament yet, but I imagine he will. Personally, I thought Rafa would go to both. Winning the 2 Grand Slams in this year would have put me ahead of Roger on the all-time list at 21, and having had so long off the court, I thought Rafa might have been tempted to go to the US and then travel to Paris soon after to win what it looks like a straightforward French Open. He's won it that many times, but it looks like he's going to prioritise the French, make sure he's at peak fitness, fully fit for that event, and sort of guarantee himself 1 Grand Slam this year, which wouldn't be a bad year for him when you consider the circumstances. Other notable absentees in the men's draw are Stan Wawrinka. Again, like Rafa, looks like he's prioritising clay. He's been practicing on it a lot if you look at his Instagram, and also Roger Federer, but we knew with Roger that he was out next year after having knee surgery, so he won't be at the French Open either. So looking ahead to what is likely to happen now in the event, I think a lot of people think a straightforward win for Djokovic, but not in my opinion. There's still the likes of Dominic Thiem there, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Daniel Medvedev, Alex Zverev, David Goffin. There's still a lot of good players that are going to turn up at the US Open, and Djokovic won't have played a lot of tennis when he arrives there, so you don't know how he's going to react following the lockdown and run of inactivity. He could be rusty and just get surprised by a low ranked player. We don't know what's going to happen. There's been lots of surprises across sport since the return. A lot of players react in different ways. Surely Djokovic is the massive favourite. He's always a favourite in a hard court, so without Rafa there and Roger, it would be daft not to say that it's a huge opportunity for Djokovic. He's chasing that GOAT tag, greatest of all time. He wants to win the most slams of all time. He's just 3 behind Roger, and this is a fantastic chance for him to get 2 behind and win his 2nd Grand Slam of the year. But as I said, I expect the next generation, the likes of Dominic Thiem, to really sense this opportunity. For them, they've grew up and started their pro careers watching the likes of Federer and Nadal dominate Grand Slam events, even Andy Murray, and for them to go into a tournament without Federer and Nadal there, they must have huge confidence. The likes of Tsitsipas and Zverev and Medvedev will be looking at the draw thinking, we've got a great chance. They're going to be ranked 3 and 4. The likes of Medvedev and Tsitsipas in this event due to the withdrawals of Federer and Nadal, so they're going to have good draws all the way to the semi-final and final, and they'll just be thinking if we can get back to some of the form that we were in last year, then we're very capable of picking up our first Grand Slam title. So I'm expecting huge runs and huge efforts from the next gen. They've got extra motivation without Rafa there and Federer there, and I think Djokovic will have a huge battle on his hands. Dominic Thiem's improved his hard court game over the past few years, pushed Djokovic hard at the Scissors Australian Open final. Obviously, as I say, Djokovic is a huge favourite, and I will be making my full preview and prediction when the draw comes out later this month, but early signs of that, it looks like another slam for Djokovic. But as I say, there's still a lot of talented players in that draw who'll be motivated even more now thanks to the withdrawal of Rafa and Roger. And Stan, on the English side of things, Cam Norrie, Dan Evans and Kyle Edmund will all be in the draw, and I think Andy Murray needs 1 more withdrawal to get into the draw, which would be good. Looking to the women's, there's less absentees I think on this list. The most notable obviously being the world number 1 Ash Barty, but all the other top names are there. The likes of Naomi Osaka, Serena Williams, Sophia Kenin looking to go back to back in slams. Belinda Bencic is in the top 10, and for the women's we have Heather Watson and Jo Contner both automatically in, and I think Harry Dart is around the 17th alternate, so it's unlikely she'll make the draw. But yeah, on the women's side again, it's always wide open. I do think Sophia Kenin might put a run together and go back to back. I was just so impressed with her mentally. I think she's fantastic on hard court, and also being in the US. I think she'll adapt to the conditions, and she looks so suited by the hard courts. And often in women's tennis over the last few years, it's been that when they've won one, they've won two, like Naomi Osaka did, Simona Halep did. And also the returns of Bianca Andreescu, obviously won this title last year, defending champion. She's going to return to this event. Hasn't played much tennis at all since then due to that knee injury. And also Garbine Muguruza is back to the US in fantastic form to start this year after a couple of years. When she dipped down the rankings, she reached this year's Australian Open final before losing to Sophia Kenin, but I expect Garbine Muguruza to be a lot better this year than what she has been the last couple of years at Flushing Meadows. But I will be bringing out full previews and predictions later in this month, just before the events, but I thought I would just do a quick reaction video to the entry lists. But thanks for watching again. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.